Ha! Ha! Welcome to the Broskiedoodles podcast. And this is I think for now I'm gonna call it like the Thursday movie review Thursday or movie review Thursday. I don't know. I want to bring another episode a week where I come through with the movie reviews, with the documentary reviews, with the series, I know that I already do this on my podcast, but maybe some of you just want to hear me talk the crap when I'm on the podcast, and I'm going to make it more specific so you can have... Oh shit, my window's open. And you can have a specific episode for the movies only. So thank you, Adrian, for joining me once again to talk about a very special movie today.
Damn right, dude. Gonna make this a habit. Yeah, it looks like you live in jail.
What do you mean?
With your blinds over there, like the metal. Anyway, getting off topic here. Yeah. Let's talk about some movies.
The movies. And today we have a movie that came out recently, right? Because we're gonna hit on some classics, but we're also gonna hit on the current events so that we can, bring you the sauce. And on one of our podcasts we reviewed Don't Look Up. So we already started this, but I think it was more fit to put it in an actual sort of separate episode on a weekly basis. But enough of the BS. Subscribe to the thing, share it, and we're gonna talk today about the movie The Power of the Dog, which I saw it yesterday. And if we would have done the podcast yesterday, I would have been very hard on the movie.
Yeah.
It still sucks, and it's still a piece of shit. But after I took a shower this morning and I pondered on it, I was like...
You refreshed a bit?
It wasn't the worst movie I've seen. When I saw it yesterday, I thought it was.
I felt the same way when I was writing notes about that today. And when I was writing notes on the card counter, I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, now that I think of it, maybe it wasn't so bad. Maybe I was a little too harsh. I jumped the gun a little bit, but yeah, as soon as I saw it, I was extremely passionate on how bad it was compared to how much praise it got.
And compared to how much time you invested in it.
Right. It is what, like 2 hours and a half?
This is the thing. Like, I think the reason why I felt it wasn't as bad later on is because the story itself is not a horrible story. It's actually it has some interesting things. My problem is when you make it in such a long time, it makes it almost like no matter how good the story is, it's just you fucked it up for me. And I just found the movie to be a complete bore. It was so long.
For it to be 2 hours?
Yeah, I guess if this was like a mini movie, I don't know, like an hour long, that could have made sense.
Yeah, it felt like they intentionally, and we were talking about it, they intentionally dragged a lot of the scenes and a lot of the parts, I think, to build up the suspense, but all it did was just make you want to fast forward through the movie. Also, how it felt with Don't Look Up.
Bro, this is very similar to Don't Look Up in certain things where it just drags. And similar to Don't Look Up, I was just looking at my phone the whole time, placing bets. I'm now doing sports bets. And, dude, you know what it is, man? We were speaking about this on the green room. These motherfucking directors today think that there's like some sort of art in making things super long and trying to build this tension. And that works when it's a great director that does it well. But when it's like this schemy bullshit where like you're just making it long because you think that's gonna... No, like a movie is good and then it can also be long, but it has to be good. It's not good because it's long. It's good and it just happens to be long. You know what I mean? And with this movie, I took a bunch of notes and I guess we're gonna...
A lot of the scenes dragged on. They dragged on and they just like... Granted, it did have beautiful cinematography. The landscape of everything was very nice, very well done. It really put you in where they were, but it took so long to get from one part to the next and to the next and to the next. And I'm pretty sure even they know about it because they split it up into those acts.
Oh, my, yeah. I have some notes on that shit. I've seen this on other movies. I don't like it. And I mean, by the way, if you're watching this podcast, you must have seen this movie, right? And this is gonna be a spoiler. Like, it's my first episode on this movie review, so bear with me. But yeah, you should have seen this already. If you haven't, go see it and then come, hear us talk shit, and then you can join in on the comments. But yeah, the cinematography was beautiful. The Montana, like the beginning of the movie with a little guitar playing, like, or banjo, and then you have this like cattle that they're pushing through these fields. Oh, like, that was amazing cinematography. It's just that I feel like it was wasted because there was no story. The characters. Okay, don't you feel like the whole movie nothing was explained? Like, how the fuck this guy just goes into a town and marries this bitch, Kirsten
Right?
Durst?
All he had to do is show her a little bit of love.
Yeah, like,
Yo,
and then the kid is the
No
kid
respect.
is the kid
No.
even is it is the kid even her mom, her son? He calls her Rose.
That's mine. That's mine. Do I have to? Can you just leave it on the couch? I would have done it. Yeah, that's kind of what I told you what I was gonna do before I did it, so that we wouldn't be doing this right now.
No respect.
They linger.
All right, dude. So was the kid Kristen Durst, right?
Durst.
Durst, was he her son? Because he calls her Rose, or is he just fucking
He-
retarded?
I think I want to say he was on the spectrum. I want to say that he was on the spectrum, and I think he called her that on purpose. And I was thinking about their whole interaction, and I feel like they wanted to play up on like the psycho, the Norman Bates, and how he
Okay.
has like this love-hate relationship with his mom, kind of like disrespects her a bit and wants to be an individual, but at the same time like wants to be with her forever and nobody else can be with her. And that's why, like, at the end of the movie, when he's looking out the window, looking at her husband, kind of wants to. It alludes to him wanting to kill him too, so that nobody can be with his mom.
Well, that's
At
not
least
what
that's
I
what I
took
got
from
out of
it.
it.
No, what I took from it was he was actually happy seeing his mom finally happy because that other motherfucker Cumberpatch was not around anymore.
Yes, I saw the complete opposite. I thought he like was looking at him like you're next, and I'm gonna do some other fucking maniacal bullshit to kill you because I don't want anyone with my mom.
Yeah, but I don't even think he even showed.
Any sort of hate? I don't know.
No, not hate. He didn't. No, I don't mean the hate. I never saw him show that much care about his mom or whatever the fuck she was to him. But I mean, yeah, I mean that's understandable. I mean, there's different interpretations. The whole fucking movie has a bunch of shit. Like, bro, there's just a bunch of shit that's incomplete. And I'm pretty sure, like, some movie buff guy would be like, yeah, you don't get it, bro. That's the point of it. You leave some mystery and shit. But he's like, yeah, but sometimes it's just lazy writing. Like, why don't you explain things? Like, what's the point of bringing the governor? Why is it that, by the way, I really like that actor, the blonde guy. He played in Breaking Bad, right?
Yeah. I was actually just looking up his name because he's done really well, and he's actually got
I
him to a
really
point where he
like
has his
him
own
as an
role.
actor.
Jesse
But
Plemons.
but I felt like in this movie, I mean, I guess part of the character was that he never talks, but like, I never really got anything from him.
Oh, dude, and that's another thing. In the beginning of the movie, he's getting treated like shit by his brother, and I assume they do that to show that, like, he's a beta and then the brother's an asshole. But all of a sudden, this guy owns the ranch and he's just telling everybody what to do and doesn't have to work anymore after he got married.
Yeah, or was he already doing that before? You know?
I don't know. It just goes from the power switch just changed instantly.
And another thing that I found weird, when the kid goes around the other cowboys and the cowboys start like bullying him, right? For being like girly like or whatever. I understand these are times, back in the day, but that's still the boss's kid, right?
Well, yeah. In theory, yeah. but they respected Cumberbatch more, and they saw him as the actual alpha.
Right.
So they're gonna do whatever he wants to do, or however he's treating
Did
the
you
kid.
think? I mean, regardless of what we think of the movie, did you think Cumberbatch character was cool? Like it was impressive?
Yeah, his acting, absolutely. But as far as like his character development, I really don't understand. So like his whole gripe was that he missed Bronco Henry, and I guess he was gay, and he maybe had a love relationship with Bronco Henry. I don't even know the point of bringing Bronco Henry into
Yeah,
the
they never
story.
explain shit about Bronco Henry. They never explain shit like, oh, I don't want to take a bath, and that's a whole issue. It's like
He didn't want
I
to
don't.
bathe with the other guys.
No, he didn't want to take a bath. Remember when like the governor
Oh yeah,
came?
well, he just like threw a fit, but he did, and he did go shower in the lake by himself,
Yeah.
and the kid found his like porno mag in
I'll be
there.
honest, bro. The whole time I'm like, please fuck something, fuck somebody at least. You know, give it some fucking. The whole movie was building up to nothing. So I mean, let's go right to the ending, right? So he kills the guy using the animal hide that was from the dead cow. So that I guess had some infectious disease, and because the guy had a cut hand when he was making the ropes, he must have gotten the disease there, right? I mean, that's what the movie implies.
Right.
Which I don't think is that bad of a thing. Like, I mean, I think it's an interesting take, but it's just like it all fucking falls for me when you make it so fucking long and nothing else happens. Like, I felt like there could have been a lot of other things happening in the middle of that. You know, do
Well,
they fuck the night before?
it looked like they were about to when he put the cigarette in his mouth, and they looked at each other like they both wanted to do that. I just thought the movie was gonna go in a completely different direction. I thought that it was just gonna be Benedict Cumberbatch and Kirsten Dunst just having that feud throughout the whole movie, and just like them, that shit just escalating to the point where it just got unbearable. And then it took the other turn of the kid just getting involved, and all of a sudden Benedict Cumberbatch loves him all of a sudden and wants to take him under his wing after treating him like shit for so long
Yeah.
and showing him the ways, and then
And
the
it
kid
seems like
killing
the
him.
kid takes advantage of that, I guess, to try to make him think that he's down to be cool with Cumberbatch, but really he's doing it so that he could fuck him over with a rope. And like, how much did he have to plan for his plan to go? Like, he had to plan that his mom was gonna give the Indians the hides so that he could be like, oh, by the way, I have extra hides here.
That's
Another
true. I
thing
didn't even
is, they
think of
never
that.
explained their feud with the Indians. Like, why the fuck does he want to sell them the hides? Like,
Yeah,
man,
just
it's
being an
just
asshole just to be an asshole.
it's so many things that are like completely blank, empty. Let me go through the points I have here, the notes. So yeah, well, I have here. Oh my god, it's so fucking slow, snoozer. Yeah, so we talked
Yeah, I
about
have the same thing. I said it's slower than a kid in ESE class.
that's fucked
I
up. Yeah,
have
I wouldn't
slower.
say that.
Yeah, please don't put that clip. I know you like putting little clips that don't shine me
Okay,
in the
okay,
brightest light.
okay,
Slower than the
okay.
motherfucker at the DMV who put in his 2 weeks of work. Slower than an old person telling a story. I live with
Okay.
two old people, so that might hit differently for if you live with your grandparents.
Yeah, super slow. The music was good. Every time that little banjo would come in, but the whole thing just moved me to at the end nothing happening.
Oh yeah,
And oh,
and so I guess the whole thing with him being so angry and edgy about everything was because his brother was doing well in life, and now he hates his wife for no apparent reason, or he's just or he's gay, and he's just mad at anyone who has
or he
sex with a
is
woman.
right about the woman just wanting him for the money, but they don't even never develop the character of the lady. To be honest, she just goes crazy and she's always like, oh no, Peter. Like, bro, knowing for bro, this is the thing. Today I was watching clips of a movie called Moneyball. You know, the one with Brad Pitt and
Yeah,
Jonah
yeah.
Hill, Moneyball. One of my favorite movies, probably top 10. I couldn't stop watching clips because every scene in that movie grabs you. Like The Big Short, you know, like it grabs you because every scene is so interesting. You cannot stop watching. With this shit, I couldn't fucking retain my attention for 2 fucking seconds because nothing happened. The whole thing with her playing the piano, but I can't, but and then the guy playing the banjo too, Cumberbatch. What was that dynamic like?
Well, that's what I'm telling you. Like, I think that they were trying to just show how much they hated each other, and they were gonna build up that feud until it got to a point where it was unbearable. And I thought the movie was gonna head in that direction, just playing on them two having that feud throughout the whole movie. But didn't seem that way. It just
So a
feel
few
like
things
they got
here.
lazy toward the end.
I didn't like the acts or chapter thing. So for the if you obviously if you watch the movie, which you should, if you're listening to this, it's divided like chapter one or act one, act two, act three, and I think it's a little presumptuous, and also it like takes me away from the thing. I don't know, like this is not Shakespeare or a fucking book. Like just I don't know, just do the movie. So I didn't like the chapters thing. It made
I thought
it even
it
more
would have
slower.
played well if they would have gone with the storyline that I envisioned. Like
Which
in
okay,
this
but what happens
chapter,
at the end? Do they kill each other?
I don't know, but not what
So
happened.
what are you
Just like
envisioning?
just them, just it being about those two actors, not bringing the kid in. The kid is just like, I just think that it's just a stupid inclusion
Well, the
to
whole
make it
point
the
of the
focal point about
kid,
him.
the whole point of the kid is so that they could play on the gay card.
He couldn't
You
do it with
know.
anybody else or the brother. I don't know, man. Like it's just, I guess,
All right,
which is
so
weak too. That's a stupid ass storyline too. The whole reason, the whole movie is about him being gay and frustrated, and then a
yeah,
little kid
yeah,
kills him.
yeah, yeah. And at what point does the brother say like, "Hey, bro, if you're gonna like be like this, then get the fuck out of here"? Like I don't know.
Yeah, I
Like
married this. He never has that confrontation with him.
yeah, it's always like yeah. So whatever. Um, yeah. So I have here noted the whole time I wanted Cumberbatch to fuck someone so that it could get exciting. Yeah, nothing ever happened. Uh, um, another thing that I noticed, there was an African American in the crew, which I'm not sure if historically that was a thing in those times. So something to note there. you know,
Well,
um,
he was the coolest one of them on, made the group.
and then they were all like, they were all they were very like anti-gay, but then they were all in the lake naked, like fucking playing little wrestling with each other, which was a little weird. Which is like, I don't get it. Like you know what I mean? Like it's like like the Russians, they're very manly and shit, and very like I'll kill you. But then they have like traditions where like they'll go into a sauna together naked, and it's like
Yeah, there's that picture of like Habib with all his boys, all of them in the little hot tub together.
yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Fucking
Weird.
old Bronco Henry. I think they clap cheeks. He's always
I
talking about
guess so
old
because
Bronco
he
Henry.
made a huge emphasis on him. I guess he was in love with him because I don't see why else they would include him in the story. It's like the one that got away and died. I guess I don't know, man. I looked up the definition, well, not the definition of where the name of the movie came from,
Mm-hmm.
and it's
A
from a
passage in
verse
the
in the
Bible.
Bible. Yeah. Deliver my soul from the sword, my darling from the power of the dog.
What does that even mean?
Valkavine.
Yeah, the
Deliver
director, I
my
don't
soul from
know.
the sword, my yeah, maybe he. It seems like one of those movies that wasn't made for people like you and me, and it was just made for other actors or other
Well,
food critics,
you
movie
you mentioned
critics.
that it won a Golden Globe, right?
Yeah, it did. So it
The
hit the right notes with
director,
the people.
the director is a woman, so I don't know if they were trying to play the diversity card and give her the Golden Globes, but
I don't know.
the
I don't know what
movie
other movies were. Let's see the nominations.
the movie lacked. And at this point, bro, I mean, I've been already clear on this. Like, if it's a Netflix movie, it's most likely gonna suck dick. I don't trust them anymore.
I'm trying to find out what other ones were up there, other nominees. Man, Benedict Cumberbatch was a nominee for this one as a
as an
Best
actor.
actor. Yeah. And the kid was best supporting actor, or rather, oh yeah, he won it. Wow.
Mm. I mean, the thing
Kristen
is,
Dunst.
on their own, the kid Cumberbatch, they play the characters well. It's just I didn't like the story. It just didn't motivate me. It didn't make me feel invested or interested in any of the characters. They didn't give me enough depth and incentive to things, like you never really got to know any of them and what their intentions were. So it was hard to really put a finger on what was the dynamic that was going on. And it is a shame because like you mentioned, the scenery, the music, the wardrobe, I'm setting up that house in the Montana mountains, I guess if it was in Montana. I mean that whole thing was beautiful, but it's just like, come on, man, put a good story there, put something exciting, something that has a climax, that has a change of pace, that makes you like, oh, they showed so many things that never ended up becoming anything, that I'm like, then why the fuck you showed me?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think we can agree that the movie shouldn't have won and it was lacking. The other nominees were King Richard. I want to see that one. That's the one with
Will Smith
Will
and
Smith. Yeah,
about the
playing a
Serena and
right.
Venus.
Right. He's their dad. Although it's weird that the movie is about him and not his daughters.
Mm,
But anyway, there's that one. There's Dune. I haven't seen that one. Coda and Belfast. Haven't seen any of
Belfast.
these. Yeah.
Mm. What's
It's a
Belfast
young
about?
boy and his working class Belfast family experience a tumultuous late 1960s.
Ah,
Okay.
seems like this type of movies where they just tell you a story and kind of like kind of like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood has that flaw that this movie has, in the sense that it doesn't have a story. It's just a collection of scenes, right? But the thing is, the scenes are so good and captivating, at least in my opinion, that you sort of, in a way, disregard the fact that it's not a solid story, because all the scenes have so much interesting things on it. Again, in my opinion, there's people that don't like it, and I understand that it's a weird movie to like. But with this one, nothing grasped me to the screen. And I mean, I pretty much got nothing else to say at the moment that I can
Yeah, I
remember.
don't either.
But
I'm trying to think of at least one scene in the movie that was good. I think the that scene that she's playing the piano and that he's like kind of like playing his little banjo in mocking her, showing her like you can't play shit even though you've practiced so much. I think that one
and
was pretty good.
it was super petty. Like,
It is. It just showed how much of a piece of shit he was, and I think that was the goal of it. And I think if there's any scene in that movie that stands out to me, probably be that one. But
yeah,
yeah, wouldn't watch it again and wouldn't recommend it.
no, if you haven't watched it and you listen to the whole review, that'd be weird. But yeah, it's not
By
a
hearing this
movie.
review, you saw the movie.
Yeah, you saw the movie already. And if you did watch the movie, then hopefully this review made it not such a waste of time, because the analysis of the movie allowed you to grow from it and sort of
Right.
rebirth from the fucking ashes like a phoenix.
Yeah, and you're not alone. You're not alone in the way you feel about the movie because clearly we feel the same.
It is a piece of shit. Like I'm making a top 10 of pieces of shit movies, and this is definitely in that bag with Don't Look Up, and we're gonna add movies there, and we're also gonna have a good bag, but I want to have a bad bag because I think it's important to remind people what are the shit movies that are being made out there.
Well, I would
Coming
say that it's
from
not that bad. It's not that bad. It's just it shouldn't have won an award, a Golden Globe. It's a reach.
It's a little bit funny. All right, well, we'll leave it at that. I hope you enjoyed this movie review Thursday. We're gonna continue to do these not only with movies but with series, with documentaries, anything that is of the audiovisual, realm, so that we can review things that come out and give our opinion. Sometimes we're gonna be good, sometimes we're gonna be bad, but we're gonna be honest with you. All right. So thank you again for joining us, Adrian, and keep it real, Broskiedoodles. Peace.